Hey, great Tuesday morning. It is a beautiful morning in the city of Brownsville, Texas, and running a little bit on the late side, but actually not late. We actually got on right at 9 o'clock
Mm-hmm.
with 15 minutes to spare. What
15?
15 seconds to spare.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of trippy. One of the things that I mention to people uh, that I meet up with that live in or live or come or have been to Monterrey is that I lived in Monterrey for like 6, 7 years. And one of the things that I had the hardest time to getting used to was how they measure time. And I've shared this before, but I'll share this again. We were supposed to go to El Vips downtown in Monterrey, and they said, "No, hombre, nos vemos ahí a las 8." And I said, "Oh, sí, I know vemos a las 8." So I get there at 7:45. Get there, find where we're gonna sit, and I'm sitting there and I'm waiting. I said, there's gonna be like seven of us, eight of us, and I'm there because I was the first one there. I thought, so let me get the table. And 8 o'clock comes and no one shows up. And then 8:15, 8:20, 8:30, and I said, "Screw this, I'm ordering." And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna order." And 8:45, 8:50, people start walking in, and I said, "Guys, y'all said 8 o'clock." And they said, "Well, yeah, it's still 8 o'clock." And they measure time from 8 o'clock all the way to 8:59. That's 8 o'clock for them. So if they say they're going to get there at 8 o'clock, it could be at any one of the at one of those minutes intervals. That's the hardest thing
Mhm.
I struggled with when in Monterrey. So right now we came on at 9 minutes with 45 seconds. So
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
There you go. It's on
Yeah.
the video. And I wasn't even the one that was late. Well, I sort of was because I didn't log in, but yeah, I called you to see. I mean, you called me, and you said you had a disagreement with somebody, and what happened?
No, and it was kind of trippy. Every morning, I tell folks, every morning, I go and spend breakfast with, well, I try with Papa.
Mm-hmm.
And then one of the things that I think we've gotten used to, and one of the things that I share with people is, a lot of folks don't have their parents anymore because, they pass away, older in age, y todo. You try to spend as much time as you can with your parents, and make these little niche little times that are specific salud, that are specific to the individuals, because when they pass away, which is inevitable, Roman, it's going to happen, they're going to pass away. When they pass away, you won't feel guilty that you didn't spend as much time as you could have with them. So
Mm-hmm.
every morning I try to go and have breakfast with Papa, and that way, I later on, I'll go like, "Oh, well, I remember our breakfasts." Does that make
Right.
sense?
Yeah. More baby yes.
Well, and I, good morning, good morning, good morning, Gordo. That's for you. Good morning, Chulo. That's for me.
Okay. But you're the one underneath Gordo, and I'm the one under Chulo. So.
No, no, Roman. Those roles have been inverted. Uh,
Oh. Okay.
I was fat, and you were halfway, a little bit in the good-looking side, and now
Mm-hmm.
it's changed. Now you're fat, and I'm
Uh
mega,
huh.
mega healthy.
I guess. Yeah. So.
But no, it's again, and besides that breakfast, I try and do a lot of socializing with Papa, because I think it's a good thing. I think one of the things that I try to encourage my sisters uh, is spend more time with Papa. Spend more time with Papa. Get involved in a lot of the things that he's involved in, and a lot of things that he likes, because we're not going to have him here longer. It's going to be a very, very sad situation, you know, to be at the funeral whenever it happens, because it's going to happen. To be at his funeral and then have all of them out there crying and grabbing onto the casket and stuff. I'm going to go like, you should have done that when he was alive.
Mm,
You know,
yeah.
that's
That's
when
true.
it mattered. You should have gone to church because Papa likes it for us all to be, to go to church. I go to church for other reasons, but one of the reasons is because Papa, likes for us to be there at church, and
Mm-hmm.
some of my sisters, do do not want to go to church. So that's a personal choice. I understand that completely. Este, you know, but if you really love your parents, try with that. No te la comes. A veces sí. You're right. Still a good-looking guy, but uh, yeah, you're right. I'm the first one to admit it.
All right.
Let me say this. Yeah, sometimes I suck, and sometimes I'm an a-hole, but my heart's in the right place, you know,
Yeah,
and
that's all that matters, right?
uh, in the right place. I don't go out there trying to steal, cheat, lie to individuals. One of the things that I had a conversation with someone yesterday. It was on the trippy side. I had a conversation with someone, and they said, I actually got an interview. I haven't posted it yet. I'm going to post it today. I got interviewed by this documentary that they're doing, Roman, in regards to
Oh, was it Bob?
no, no, no. Besides Bob, I had
Okay.
another interview. It's going to be like a documentary on the corruption in the South Texas. I think that's
Mhm.
what it is. I'm not sure, but I got interviewed yesterday. I'll post it right now. And I was talking to the guy. I said, "Look, este, people may." He was asking, "Well, do you accept donations, money?" And I said, "You know what? I try to stay away from the money thing. And the reason I try to stay away from the money thing is because it becomes an easy vehicle. And not that I want to accept money. Please send me your money, especially if you want to break downs with some cash for signs or something. I'll take your money. But I try not to delve too much in money because it muddles the message sometimes. You know, it
Mm,
muddles the message, and then people start to think, no, no, está pidiendo dinero, es igual que los políticos.
mm,
You know, Abencross, Abencross, I don't steal from you. You see, and that's I don't take from you. You
mhm,
come on to my show to say Erasmo te la comes. You take from your time. You give that to me. I don't take it from you. I don't steal from you. You come on, and I think that's the difference. The problem is you blast Erasmo te la comes, Erasmo, you're an a hole, but I've never seen you go out there and speak at a city commission meeting. I've never seen you go out and confront the PUB board members. You know, I didn't see you when we were fighting against uh, UTB TSC control. Didn't see you out there when we were fighting for Lincoln Park.
mm.
That's when it really, really matters. Those are the individuals that are taking from you, stealing from you. You say nothing.
Mm.
But Erasmus the bad one. It's like with yes, I can. Shut up. It's like with Sylvia Atkinson, and this is one of the conversations I had. I don't know if you remember Frank, my the No More Cheese guy. This is one of the conversations I had with Frank. Frank, you were out there, anti Erasmus. Oh, Erasmus horrible. Well, what has he done to you? Well, he takes selfies. He takes pictures. He thinks he's the king of all social media. He's so full of himself. How does that hurt you? You know, how does that affect you? It might affect you psychologically, but at the end of the day, it's not taking a plate away from your kids. On
Yeah.
the contrary, these individuals, they take, you know,
Well, what are your thoughts on Helen and getting chosen as city manager?
let me finish with my rant.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we were done.
Steal or try to steal state funds that could have helped a poor individual or an elderly person. Let me say this: what state funds? State funds are available to anyone and everyone out there. Don't steal state funds; they're given away. And one of the things that I've hoped to be able to do, El Gato Negro, is to help individuals go out there and reach out for as much money, as much help as they can from anyone, be it state or be it federal. We need all this money coming in here, every single dime coming in here into this community. Because, okay, let's say that I have absolutely no idea which you're referring to, but let's say that I got $50,000 from the state of Texas. Well, I'm going to spend it here locally, most of it, unless I'm traveling, but I'm going to spend it here. The problem is The difference is that these individuals, when they receive $10 million from Elon Musk, they pocket that money. That's your money. State funds is not necessarily your money, although it is. Uh, Helen Ramirez,
Mm.
congratulations. Congratulations on being our city manager. Again, was it the best choice out there?
No.
Uh, don't think so. She is our city manager.
Mm.
So we've got to be out there now at this point in time, supportive and encouraging that she does a good job, because ultimately she's going to be out there supposedly serving the citizens of Brownsville
Mm.
until she doesn't. One of the questions, Roman, that Bobby Whiteman threw out there, which I think is a valid question, was what role did Helen Ramirez have whilst Trey Mendez was out there asking for $200,000 from BCIC? And I'm going to think, and again, that the city manager has very little, because I think that someone mentioned this, very little influence on BCIC and GBEC, because they have their own little boards and committees, or board
Mm.
committees, who are set up, who are placed there by the city commission to
Mm-hmm.
oversee the money that is taken from the city
Right.
in order to promote. So I don't know directly what power or influence Helen Ramirez has over BCIC and GBEC, unless it has been given to her, because she was the director of GBEC for a while when they fired everyone, wasn't she?
I believe so. I until she became interim city manager, that's what her position was. And I think the Herald had a story um, a few days ago about the audit and oversight committee doing some sort of audit and oversight of some particular agreement between GBIC and somebody else. And so they're going to do an audit and oversight on that. And it felt like it was a sort of a puff piece of for John Cowan and his kind of election campaign for mayor, to make it seem like he's doing something, but whatever. But my question is the contract was put in, I believe they said late 2021. I think, isn't that when Helen Ramirez became executive director of that organization, BCIC? I mean GBEC, sorry. And isn't also around the same time when all of the commissioners were named directors of that organization? I don't know when the timeline was, but I was pretty sure it was around the end of 2021 that all the commissioners were there. So if I'm right on the timeline, and somebody can correct me if I'm right on the timeline, um, would they not have been part of this agreement? And if they were, why would they have to do an audit or an oversight? Why would the internal auditor be saying you might want to look into this? And so it isn't their job to do that. Now, again, I'd be happy to be corrected on the timeline, but I'm pretty sure that's when Helen was executive director, and when you had all the commissioners become directors of GBIC.
Well, again, it's going to be an interesting ride. It's going to be interesting, right? I think that the other individual that Nick Charles, or whatever the hell the guy's name is, I think he
Mm-hmm.
came with a little bit more experience. He was actually the city manager for, was it Beaumont or Baytown
Baytown,
or Baytown or
Baytown,
something?
Baytown, or Bay City, one of the other. I think it was
One
Baytown.
one of those cities. So there was a little bit. I think the question was who has more experience, who goes forward. I mean, Helen's Helen came down with what's his name, with Noel Bernal.
Right.
He was one of the implants. So again, there are no roots here in the city of Brownsville in regards to understanding what the city of With that said, let me say, guys, I am going to contact uh, city manager's office, and I'm going to ask for for 15 minutes of her time. So I'm hoping to do that this week or next week, and have a sit down and see what her philosophy is. I've never had a sit down conversation with her, so I think it'd be
Mm.
a great idea. So I'm going to contact the city manager's office to see if I can set up an appointment to visit with her sometime soon. What do you
Mm.
think, Roman?
I don't know why you wanted me either, but okay.
No, you think it's a good idea?
Sorry, my cough.
You don't think it's a good idea?
No, I just think I don't see the point. I don't know what you're gonna get out of it, but okay. It just makes you feel like, oh, I had a 15-minute interview or talk with her.
No, well, I'm not. I mean, I want to meet the individual.
Oh,
Let me say that.
you've been here how long, and you barely want to meet her?
Well, again, I'm running for office for the city of Brownsville.
Oh, that's different. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. I forget. You're running for office. But
Roman,
yeah,
don't you see the thing going around the cursor?
yeah, but I don't really read it. It kind of blinds me, and I don't. It's just part of the scenery in the back.
Uh,
Um, no, but I was fairly fascinated by the picture that was posted yesterday. I don't know why I'm fascinated by it, but the picture of all the members of the commission and Helen and how like, oh look, we just made her, and I was struck by what these commissioners were wearing. I mean, they're members of the commission. They're elected by us supposedly, and I say supposedly because not everybody votes for them, right? Um, and to see like John Cowell wearing tennis shoes at the commission while he was performing his duties as a commissioner, and then you had who was it? Either I think it was Rose and Nurat were wearing chanclas. Surprisingly, Roy was not wearing chanclas.
They're following Roy de la Chancla's
Again,
lead.
but Roy wasn't wearing chanclas. And then you had your friend Pedro Cardenas over there with a freaking hoodie. Like, oh, look, I'm having a hoodie and jeans or whatever. And then you had, Jessica Tetro in this short skirt dress looking thing. And I'm just like, Mijita, you're not a teenager. And I mean, it's just like, why? I mean, can you like, to Trey's credit, and I had I had a disagreement with him on Facebook yesterday because he's
I saw
not, it was hilarious, wasn't it?
it.
I'm right, he's wrong, but whatever. At least he was wearing a coat and trying to make himself look taller by doing this crap. Why does he stick out his chin? That's kind of why I call him Farquaad, because that's what Farquaad would do. He's short and had black hair and he did his chin a lot and whatever. But at least he was wearing somewhat half decent. But what's up with these guys? I mean, there used to be a time where our members of the commission would wear a suit, men would wear a suit, or at least a polo or a tie or something. I mean, to me, come on, man. Like, let's have some decorum. Let's have some look.
One day I think I saw, and I might be wrong. I think Commissioner de las Chanclas was wearing shorts, and we're like, yeah, it's not the best attire. But again,
At the public library, right? There was a picture with him with shorts and then stupid thing with the chocolate. I'm like, dude, wear shoes. Maybe does he have like a foot problem? Maybe, I don't know that he has to wear chocolate. But I mean, if you're gonna be in the commission, and to his credit, he didn't wear chocolate yesterday. If you're gonna be in the commission, you're gonna sit in that chair representing us. At least wear something. I mean, I guess I should be thankful that one of them didn't wear a bata or something. But
perfect.
then again, you wear a dress, so whatever.
I wear a nice dress. Let me say, I don't mind too much for the casual wear, especially for a special call board meeting. But I understand what you're saying. I personally, I would prefer uh, to um, to be dressed, uh, you know, uh, with a coat and a tie. That's my preference. Este,
I mean, look, you're scheduling a special meeting. You're making it seem like it was an emergency special meeting, like they were like estaban bañando and like they were hauling ass to get to the meeting. No, they knew the meeting was happening. It was posted with 72-hour notice. It's like, come on, that's where's something more appropriate. I mean, that's just me. I could be. I mean, maybe I'm just an old fogey or whatever. Whatever. And as for Helen getting hired, it seems to me that they just wanted to make sure they hired a woman. That I think that's a big deal. I think earlier that we never had a woman city manager, and we're all women. I mean, it's all about let's do women, 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 and it's like, how about let's not pay attention to that? Let's hire
yeah,
the best person for the job. And I'm not saying that Helen is not the best person for the job. I just think that I would have liked somebody different. I would have liked somebody outside, maybe not necessarily someone tied to total realignment or whatever that little phraseology was that the old guy had, the previous guy had. I would much rather have that. But I
well,
guess that's what they wanted.
I don't like people making decisions based on what we need to shy away from: race, sex, sexual preference, gender. You know, Get the most qualified. I don't care if they're black, yellow, brown, white. I don't care if they're
Mm,
gay, straight, bi, or one of the other derivatives. I don't care if they're male, female, transgender. I don't care. I want the
mm.
most qualified. And that's what we need to strive for, not to check mark off a list. And I'm hoping that that's not the case. I'm not saying that that's the case. I'm hoping that's not the case, because one of the first things that, oh, we've got our first female, it was on the video. We got our first female city manager of the city of Brownsville. Like it's an accomplishment? No, I
Well,
mean,
yeah, of course. I mean, it's gonna be a legacy, right?
no, we want the most qualified. Get away from she's a female. It's not because Helen is a female. She needs to be city manager because she's the most qualified individual out there. That's why she should be city manager.
Yeah.
Not to check out, say like, oh, look at what we accomplished.
Oh, that's all it is. That's all it is for these people. I mean, it's all about identity politics. So let's play the identity politics. So what's the next, person when eventually Ellen's going to not be our city manager whenever the heck that happens. Whether she leaves for greener pastures or somebody better or some other, I mean, look, the city attorney is no longer our city attorney, right? He's now in mission. So they move around, they leave. So eventually she's going to leave. So what's going to be the next goal? What's going to be the next special person that they're going to try to get so they can check off a box that, ooh, look what Brownsville did.
They could have made me city manager.
I'm not sure that would have checked the box, but okay.
They would have covered a lot of boxes.
Uh,
Why is it that the citizens of Brownsville don't get to vote to pick a city manager? What's this? Well, because that is the city manager governmental system.
Yeah.
Go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, back in the 1900s, in the hurricane of 1900, the Galveston hurricane of 1900, you had a system where the city was run not necessarily professionally. And so when you found out that the rebuilding of Galveston really was horrible because you didn't have the leadership and people were not prepared, they decided to have a more professional system, which was a city manager form of government, or city commission / city manager form of government. And so progressive people at the time, not progressive we have now or liberals now, but progressive at the time, went around the country changing charters and trying to make cities become more professionally run. So I think this is a good thing, having cities run professionally. But the city managers are still voted on by our representatives, would be the commission. But this is something that's going on since the early 1900s. Sorry. Again,
No, it is. And again, it's just the system that we're under as a city of Brownsville. Um, let me say, guys, we have the power to elect individuals on there, and we have a responsibility to elect well. I think part of the problem is that we have given that power over to a select little group of individuals, and that's where the issue lies. Because us not voting, us not becoming a part of the electoral process, and I'm not even saying that if you can or cannot vote, just even if you can't vote, you need to become a part of the electoral process. You live here, and you've got to become a little bit more involved. And then you are able to hold these individuals accountable. Because one of the things that I think Vito said that we all got upset with Vito on was that Vito says, well, there's only 3 of you coming to the meeting. That sounded horrible.
I'm so sorry.
There's only 3 of you coming to the meeting without understanding that there's tens of thousands of individuals that those 3 represent in regards to the individuals that are hurting, suffering, and have been screwed over in this city. That's what you really need to look at. Not that there's only 3 people out there being vociferous in regards to what's going on, but the tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that you hurt by your decisions, by your policies, by you not doing anything. That's what should be important. But again, nothing is going to change. But I understand what Vito was saying. What Vito was basically saying was, y'all need to get more people out here. And we
Okay.
we tried.
Is he going to come on the show, or what happened to that?
He was supposed to come. He never showed up.
Oh, you probably couldn't get internet. Hey, that's not horrible too. You don't have COVID like I do, or what?
Maybe we should call him.
Sorry. Really? Nah, it's okay. Okay. So you were on Bob's show yesterday. That was interesting.
It was fun.
That was fun.
I
Yeah.
love Captain Bob.
Yeah. What did you end up eating anything at Captain Bob? Did he feed you something? Did he
I
feed
got,
you?
fish and shrimp.
Oh wow, that sounds delicious.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was really good. Let me tell you, I like Captain Bob's food.
Mm,
Again, I think the building needs to be sprayed out or something. It's just it smells old,
mm.
but the food's great.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the food's great. Um,
Yeah.
Captain Bob, I sent him a link this morning just to see if he was going to come on.
He doesn't want to come on? I thought he wanted to come. He's like, I want to go on with your show.
Well, I'll keep on sending the links.
So he comes on, great.
Hopefully he'll.
Maybe his Mr. Interview Man wants to come on. He probably can't come on with him because the Mr. Interview Man's probably in Austin with Mr. Interviews Man's boss. Do you know who Mr. Interview Man is?
Who is Mr. Interview Man?
You don't know? I'm not allowed to say because Bob will get upset. But I think you know who Mr. Interview Man is, the person that asks him questions. You don't watch his shows? They're cute. They're funny.
Tell me who's Mr. Interview Man.
No, I'm not going to tell you. I'll tell you after the show. And then you can tell everybody later. It doesn't really matter. Anyway, but I like his show. They're cute. I mean,
secrets, Roman.
Because it's like a nom de plume for him, and I don't want to ruin his show. I mean, I don't want to ruin Bob's game that he's doing. I mean, I don't want to do that to him. Pobrecito.
She works for the citizens of Brownsville, yet we don't get a say in anything.
Oh, we're still gonna talk about that.
We get a say in elections.
Yeah. Yeah, so vote for the people you want so they can be able to hire whoever the city manager they want to hire. But I guess the last two times the mayor that's involved hires the city manager so that the new mayor gets to put up with that one. Yay, congratulations.
People don't show up because our voice falls on deaf ears and nothing ever happens. Well, I'm going to disagree a little bit, Hector, because one of the things that, again, I come out here every day. First of all, because I'm handsome and totally not fat. But I come out here every day because I have faith that things change, that things become different. I have faith.
I mean, look, like yesterday when me and the mayor were disagreeing. You know, me and Erasmo, we supported Trey, right, when he ran for mayor. And then what happens to Trey? He becomes a mayor and becomes a whatever. And he's over there. Oh, look, we have the Brownsville model. Because he's claiming on his Facebook that he went to El Paso because the president wanted to meet him or see him or whatever, because over in El Paso, they're copying the Brownsville model or the Brownsville plan or whatever the heck he wants to call it. I think he calls it Brownsville model for how to efficiently get the migrants, because that's the new word we call them now, migrants. They're not immigrants, they're migrants, because apparently they're going to migrate here, stay here for a little while, and migrate back, I guess, whatever. And how to efficiently process them and what we do. And it's the Brownsville model. And so I'm like, nobody calls it the Brownsville model because we're not an efficient city. But that was kind of the joke, is also we don't have as many migrants as other people in the valley, right?
Rudy.
So, he's coming? All right, great job. Yay. And so he's like, Jan, oh my God, Roman. And I'm like, look, nobody calls it the Brownsville model. You Google it, you look it up. I know people in Homeland Security and because of the topic and stuff like that. Nobody has this Brownsville model. It doesn't exist. And then I called him Farquaad. I guess it really bothered him because he's like, oh, classy. You're so classy, Roman. Classy as always. And I'm like, look, why are you misleading people? Wasn't he on your page, Erasmo? On your page claiming that certain internet people are out there posting fake news or misleading information and denying things or whatever, and here he is making up this Brownsville model that maybe does exist, but not the phrase the Brownsville model, because no one calls it the Brownsville model. He put it in quotes. And so if you're going to go out there and claim that people on the internet are posting fake or misleading information, and then you go ahead and 40 hours later, 72 hours later, you're doing the same thing, and again, in my estimation, show me who calls it the Brownsville model. And then one of his, social supporters, you use Google in your search? And I'm like, I actually used other search engines, not just Google, and nothing pops up. So stop using misleading information, Mayor Farquaad.
I thought it was funny that you called him a Farquaad. Again, I, I I I find a lot of things amusing, but let me say, I understand what Trey was trying to say. Like, oh, they're praise. I want to think that these are some of Trey's last hurrahs, and to many of us, him taking a picture with Biden and Vicente Gonzalez and Mayorkas, to some people that may be like, "Oh, great job, you're representing." To me, it's a little bit on the sickening side because I do not care for Biden and have no love for his administration. I think that we're where we at right now as a country because of the failed policies of Joe Biden.
I just trying to figure out why is it called the Brownsville Model when predominantly the migrants are going through
Well,
McAllen, and
again,
that's where the respite center is in McAllen. That's where Norma's always in. Sister Norma is always in McAllen. Why would something that's happening in McAllen be called the Brownsville Model?
again, last hurrahs.
Yeah.
Again, to his people, his posts are going to be like, "Oh wow, you took a picture with the nun, you took a picture with the president." To them, it may be like awesome. And to
Maybe he
me,
could ask
I don't know.
maybe he could ask the president, what happened to your classified documents in your vice president center or something that they found that they were making a big deal about Trump, and he apparently had like what 10 classified. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's crazy.
Uh, Politics.
Politics.
Uh,
Crazy.
Roman, I actually have to get to work. I know.
What? You don't I'm shocked you didn't talk about BISD. All this crap you've been posting on BISD this morning. I'm shocked.
Actually, and let me say, guys, I do want to gather a little bit more information before I publicly say something. Again, just so that people understand the dynamics. I put out the investigation that's going on at BISD and
It's
why
not an investigation, but okay.
I put out in regards to the investigation that's going on at BISD, so that we'll get some more information in regards to what it's all about. As of now, that is how we work things. Individuals send information, gives us an opportunity to dissect it, and then correct if we have to.
Um,
Basically, they found some form of possible cheating on the test, or there are subsets in the data that are way too high to be considered normal. Skewing of data, if that makes sense. This is not good. You never want to be under investigation. It happens before, and it's just on a couple of campuses. Again, guys, this is the information that we have right now. Uh, Hopefully, throughout the day, we'll be able to piece together more information and have an opportunity to contact BISD, contact individuals there. Maybe they could share some more information with us, guys. Again,
well, mhm.
what we do, just to make it clear for everyone, we post and then people correct or add on information to whereas we could all get a little bit of data and then finally make an informed decision. So that's why I don't want to specifically talk about it this morning. Let's talk about it tonight at 9 p.m.
I probably won't be on the show because I can hear, but I'll tell you a little bit what I know. Only that my understanding is that this is just 50 or so institutions or school districts throughout the state were randomly chosen to be able to do an audit. And so that's what happened. And it was a mistake potentially to remove somebody's rating because their ratings are not being removed. It's just like it's kind of like what they're doing with the election integrity audits is happening in Cameron County and Hidalgo. I mean, in Cameron County and in Harris County that the state chose. So that's my understanding. It's just an oversight, kind of an audit thing. It's not necessarily an investigation, but I mean, people want to claim that it is. But again, I could be wrong, but that's the information that I have.
But
so
see, the problem is that you get information from your buddies on the board. I want to dissect.
who said I got it from the board?
Well,
How about I do have friends in Austin too. It could have been from somebody from Austin.
I want to see all the information before I say it's not an investigation.
Well, my understanding right now is that it's not an investigation per se. It's just an audit. It's kind of like what it is what it is. I mean, it's not a forensic audit. it's an audit.
So I will see. I'm going to hopefully throughout the day gather some more information. We'll all gather some information and see what happens. Again, It's just a way of gathering information. It's not Erasmo being negative. It's not Erasmo hating on BISD. It's let's get some information and then we'll have an informed show, informed decision. This is what we found out throughout the day. So
Mm,
tonight at 9
mm.
p.m., we'll
Okay,
talk
cool.
about, a little bit about BISD. We'll talk a little bit about what else is going on. Guys, have a great day. Social distance, face covering, hand sanitizers, tubing, and all that crap. I'm done with that. Despite the fact that there's some rumors that it's coming back, and a lot of like in Matamoros, a lot of people are starting to wear face masks again. I'm not going to do that. Guys, be
Mm.
good to each other. Continue to be good to me. God bless.